Welcome to this tutorial video on the EOMOR motor model. We divided the tutorial videos into two parts. The first one on setting up the tool and the second one on interpreting the results. So in this video I want to provide a brief overview of how to build up the analysis. For further information you can see deliverable D4.3, which is the policy impact analysis. And also we created an interactive slide doc, which is part of deliverable 4.5, which also these tutorial videos are part of. And everything is published and available for download on the EOMOR website. What is the EOMOR project? Well, it's a project funded by the European Union under the LIFE program. And the aim of the project is to accelerate the replacement of old and inefficient electric motors in industry and the service sector. In the EU, the faster replacement of old motors would unlock additional energy savings over and above the savings of existing regulations with all the associated benefits. And in Work Package 4 of the EOMOR project, the tools for projection, monitoring and evaluation of motor policies are developed. And with that, let's get started. We work with the offline version of the tool. You can download it from the EOMOR website. In this case, we see here it's version 1.3, which was the tool was initially published in July 2024, and the current version was updated in end of November 2024. We see further information on the authors, on the different sheets, some further information on scientific articles which were published to explain the underlying logic of the tool. And of course, we are very happy if you have any feedback regarding the tool. You can contact us. Contact information is provided here. Also a bit of information on the EOMOR project. The two sheets which are visible from the start are next to this landing page, the dashboard and the graphs. Dashboard is for setting up your policy and also providing some results, but in numerical figures, and the graphs then provide also some visual representation of the results. We have some hidden sheets here, so you can open up this and see all the different files which do the calculations in the background. It's quite a lot. That's why we decided to hide them from the beginning to not overload the user with information. But if you are interested in the underlying logic, you can check those out. Most cells are possible to read. Some are possible to edit if you have better data that you can exchange it. Moving to the dashboard and setting up our policy. So on the dashboard part, we see at the top defined that the blue shaded fields are for putting on your own values. So everything that is blue, you can put something in. We have a bit of introduction text on the tool, on what it can do. Basically, we designed the tool for financial policies, and let's directly move to setting up our own policy. So the scope of the policy, we can decide, should it be the EU or a single member state. Let's do this on a hypothetical example on the EU average, which presents more or less the electricity production of Netherlands or Belgium. We can decide which material is assessed. Only one of the materials, so in this case let's stick with copper. Why only one? Well, we do it because the calculation is already quite complex, so we wanted to reduce the complexity here. That's why it's only one material. The power class we can choose from different ranges provided here. Let's stick with the 0.75 to 7.5 kilowatt range. Important note that it's only possible to do the calculation for one power class, so each policy only affects one power class. If you want to do several ones, you have to run the tool several times and add up the results together. Program budget, let's say we do a 2 million euro project with a funding rate of 50%. We can also choose here the time frame of the policy. In this case, we're starting at 2025 to replace motors, and the last motors are replaced in year 2030. The number of motors replaced based on the program budget is then evenly distributed over those years. We also have a bit of explanation text on the right side here. We have a bit of background assumptions which also can be altered in case you have other information yourself. So the one hand is the lifetime reduction. So we see here the average motor lifetime is set at a fixed value of 20 years. So 2 years lifetime reduction would mean we replace motors already after 18 years, 2 years earlier than they normally would. Which motors are replaced? In this case we see here it's IE1 and IE2 motors, but we can also change those values. And we also see replacement with, in this case it's IE4 motors. With that we have entered all the necessary information and we can start our calculation. The automatic calculation is disabled in the Excel file because it can take quite a bit of time. So you have to save the file to actually start the calculation. You see at the bottom here, the calculation is happening. This can take up to 1 minute, depends on your computational power. So with that, I will come to the end here and see you back here for the second part for information on the results and their interpretation.